Good morning, everyone. This is Ryan Entner with your Wednesday, December 5th morning market commentary. We'll start off today by saying that on this National Day of Mourning that all ag products on the CME will trade today. However, government offices will be closed, so that means ethanol is delayed until tomorrow. Exports will be delayed until Friday. We'll start off in corn, as we always do here. We'll say that corn is seeing general support, but for the most part, it is still trading in a limited range here. We're finding some mighty tough resistance in the mid 380s, just as we have been seeing previously, actually in the last 2 months for that matter. Yet lower highs and lower lows yesterday, despite the higher day, still suggests that maybe the short-term objective is to first go down and fill the chart gap at 378 before resuming that range trade. The latest talk in possible China purchases are 10 to possibly 12 million metric tons of corn purchased. We remain a little bit skeptical of that number. That is a very large number for China purchasing U.S. corn. In fact, to put it into perspective, the largest single year purchase in the last 10 is 5.3 million metric tons. So again, what we're saying with that estimate that's being tossed around out there is double the largest number we've seen in the last 10 years. Again, trade will be supported. I'm thinking that if that number does occur, that would be very helpful to the corn, but also not quite buying the number wholeheartedly just yet. So that's why we're maintaining our sideways and well-supported number. Just to put things into perspective of 10 to 12 million metric tons in another way, 12 million metric tons would be 472 million bushels. Obviously, if a purchase that large was made, that would make a significant change to our corn carryout. Moving over to the beans, the China purchase number floated around there is also 10 million metric tons, which is keeping support in this market. After the weekend news played through, what we see is, of course, again, general support. Maybe the 20 to 40 higher calls that they had for Sunday night was overdoing it a little bit. But there is still talk that they will be buying our beans. And the only thing is, again, there's no clear understanding as to when we should expect this purchase of 10 million metric tons. For beans, that number is more believable, but it's more the issue of just when this will happen. There's talk that it could happen any minute. There's also some saying it might end to the end, wait to the end of the 90-day period as we figure out tariffs. JN beans also have a chart gap that we need to keep in mind. For that market, it's 896.5. So while we chop sideways and generally supported, just like the corn, the first objective might be to go down and fill that chart gap. Moving over to wheat, the number there of China purchases that's being talked about is 7 million metric tons. That'd be 257 million bushels. Obviously, in wheat, where exports are the number one factor, that would have a major impact. But so far, wheat has had such poor sales that, just like the other two markets, you're not seeing wheat get too excited on this news until we actually see it. And again, with exports delayed and all government agencies closed here, we won't see any 8 a.m. sales reports. So if it does happen, we won't see it until at the soonest tomorrow for the wheat. Over in cattle, we started yesterday with a 116 bid. For cattle, that is actually an impressive Tuesday bid at 116. It implies at least a 117 trade that's only $1 lower. And we say only $1 lower because the national show list at plus 18,000 might have implied $2 lower. So on that better than expected Tuesday bid, we saw the futures bounce aggressively yesterday. And right now this market is dealing with a bit of mixed news. The higher show list of plus 18,000 and packer profitability at $12.60 is a new 8-month low. Those two factors would imply we'll at least see a $1 lower, but again we have that aggressive starting bid on a Tuesday where futures got a little bit excited with. Cattle, for the most part, in all this mixed news, is trading sideways. We did have a strong day yesterday, but it's important to point out that, in general, that chart is still basically moving sideways as we wait to see what we get for this next cash trade. If you have any questions, give us a call at 800-551-4626 or visit us on the web at allendale-inc.com.